Hey guys, it's Angel. Welcome back to the channel. And today we are here at, I believe it's Bolzano in Italia, and we are taking a look at Aerosoft's version 2 of their CRJ. Now, if you're buying this outright, this is about €50, and if you already have version 1, this is a free update. Not only is it a free update, but if you have version 1 of one of the two packs, because it had the 550, the 700, the 900, the 1000, now you have all 4 versions in one aircraft. For free. So I'm going to do this as an individual fresh review rather than an update because it's been a long time since I fully reviewed one and it had a lot of problems. So I will take this as a brand spanking new starting review at a €50 aircraft, which is what it is costing me here, €50 on Sim Market. Now I'll be showing you some of the deliveries as we talk now and a little bit of history on the CRJ when we go flying today, which we are doing a short flight. Now this has, like I said, the 550, 700, 900 and 1000 with 31 liveries. We have good modelling, of course, PBR texturing, fluid animations, and moving parts, gear, flaps, doors. New cabin model for all 4 aircraft variants. Full cabin and galley lighting. Emergency and exit lights. Seat belts and no smoking lights. Optional pilot and co-pilot avatars. We have opening forward and centre cargo doors on the 900 and 1000. So, the flight model is revised from version 1. And it's based on the new aerodynamic model of the simulator. Now, this, of course, works in both 2020 and 2024. It will install to both, but it is a 2020 native aircraft, so improved and fine-tuned behaviour and dynamics. It's still not perfect according to some actual CRJ pilots, and you need to tune down your sensitivity curves quite a lot to get it to handle perfect, but it's pretty good according to them. I have no way to verify that myself. Systems wise, we have the flight management system and the Rockwell Collins ProLine avionics. And we have full coupled vertical navigation in that. Navigraph September 2023 database is included. We have heads-up guidance. We have fuel defuel panel in the cockpit. Realistic simulation of systems, weather and terrain radar. Now the EFB gives us full calculations. Here we've got transfer of weight and fuel, V-speed calculations. We have individual configuration settings, Navigraph airport chart display with pin chart functionality. SimBrief flight plan import, and we have OPF viewer, landing distance calculators, and configuration settings. Now, general features are 8 separate manuals with step-by-step documentation, immersive WI sounds, including doors, passenger announcements, flight deck immersion effects. We'll look at all those, and GSX Pro support. So this should excite all of you airliner nerds, and I'm afraid I have to tell you, it does not support dual jetways. I'm so sorry. Nah, who am I kidding? I don't care. So, let's go take a look at this aeroplane, shall we? Because we've gone over a lot of this detail here, and we're going to treat this as a whole separate aircraft. I'll talk about the CRJ itself once we're in the air. No need to fuss around with this. So, we're flying the 700 today in the Lufthansa regional livery. 3D model is, honestly, what I expect. It's very beautiful. Now, I can't click these off in this because it's a 2020 native model, so I'll dump an EFB. In fact, let's open some stuff up, shall we, before we do this. So I'll hop inside with Shift-C, and we'll open up our tablet here. We'll take a quick look at this first. So, we have our checklist here. We have flight planning and systems. We can send things to the FMS. Performance pages and calculators, including set payload and sim. Copy performance initialization data to the FMS. And initial fuel from the simulator. All the things we might want to use here. Now, aircraft functions removed. We'll put the chocks in place, which opens up all these options here. So stairs will be up there. Let's put ground power cart in. We'll put the air cart, and off cargo will be open as well. Now we'll go outside here. Did it actually do these things? I think it's done most of these things. So, now this just looks annoying to have to climb into this one. Yeah, that looks pretty tight in there. Probably not fitting much in that. Let's have a look at here. There's our rear cargo hatch. Looking pretty snazzy. And there's our service door open here on the front side. We'll have a look in the cabin, of course, later on. For the time being. Right around here. Passenger door is open. So. Oh, I need to... Why can't I put the ground power things in? It's doing something to me. Oh, put those in place. Connect that. I think it takes the chocks away in physical terms when you get out. Because if I get back in again, that's a bug. Yeah, it removes the chocks when I do that. So we'll put the air cart in and the ground power carts in. We'll close service door and we'll close forward and rear cargo. Make sure we're set into cold and dark here. Now, maintenance, we have our ADGs. We've got the IDG-1. We have our oxygen masks. We can deploy those. We'll have a look at that in a second. Charts, options. And we have overall options here. Including... Wait, there's the charts and there's... Okay, it's issuing there. So, all of res nav aids and MFD display options here. Various map things. Next page, we've got things like cabin announcements, low-cost carrier version versus normal, pilot and co-pilot avatar options. We're in 2020, so I'll put this on. In 24, sorry. So we've got GSX options too. Okay, so let's take a look, shall we, into the cabin. Oh, here's the pilots. This is weird. No, let's not do that, shall we? That was weird. So, the cabin is a new feature for this version. Oh, hello. Squish through there. So we have our galley in here. Very important. It's where the food lives. Now, unfortunately, a lot of this stuff isn't clickable, which is fine. It's realistically wouldn't be. But I can open the exits from in here, which is kind of neat. I do like that as a feature. I can't necessarily close it. I can't really find a click spot unless I... Oh, no, I can. I can just go to the handle there and close it that way. Which means I could probably do the same to this one, which I will do later on. But our cabin here, there's no bathrooms at the back. I did complain to Hans about no bathroom, but it's okay. It's not really the end of the world. Now, in-flight entertainment on these, which is nice to have an aircraft that's not a big one, because most of our European aircraft for the short flights don't actually have in-flight entertainment systems on them normally. The last Air France A220 I was on did not have IFE. But, yeah, let's go back to the cockpit, shall we? And we'll start this aircraft. So, we already have the carts in place, I believe, if we look to our aircraft page. And it's turned us off again, which is weird. Okay. Okay, we've got master battery on, DC service on, AC to on. Put our super bar on the top there. Let's put our fuel pumps to all on. Skipping some checklist items there, so we'll go pull those up here. In fact, we'll just use the ones in here to make our life easier. So pre-flight inspection, all those, let's take those as done, because realistically they are, largely. Fuel shuttle valves are open, which will be down here. We'll take care of that in a second. So, starting engine, main fuel pump is on. Engine control units are going to be on, so I'm going to start those now. Don't need the APU for this because we are running on external power. We don't need continuous ignition, but we are going to start right.
Door.
Oh yeah, good point, door. And as we do this, we should get announcements, I think. Yep.
Captain, the cabin is secure. All passengers are aboard.
Thank you very much, Gladys. Or in this case, Heidi, I guess. So right, spooling.
Welcome aboard this flight. We hope you enjoy flying with us. Before takeoff, we would like to encourage all passengers to watch our cabin crew display the safety features of the aircraft.
Left starting. Now there's full instructions in the manuals included, of course, so fuel pressure, oil pressures, transponders, all these are the fun bits and pieces. You can do the stick shaker test, you can do everything. I'm not going to do those because I'm an idiot, but we are going to make sure we have our IRS engaging. That can be sometimes hard to reach behind the parking brake, but that's right there. Okay, those are coming up nicely.
Ladies and gentlemen, please pay attention as we display the safety features and procedures of the aircraft in case of an emergency. During an emergency, please remain in your seats with your seatbelts fastened and your seats in the upright position.
Okay.
In case of a drop in cabin pressure, breathing masks will drop from the ceiling and should be placed over your head. If there is smoke in the cabin during the evacuation of the aircraft, the walkway emergency lights will display to the exits which are located...
Looking good. Okay.
In case of an extreme emergency,
Jennies are on. Disconnect AC power, keeping DC service on. I think we're about in the right place here.
We would also like to remind you that
what's still left to do here. Emergency lights, yaw damper, Mac trim, and stabilizer trim. Okay. So we needed to do the emergency lights, which is on there. So it's arm. That's that taken care of. Now some of these do go on and don't. I find the yaw damper does not stay on. Mac trim is not. Stabilizer trim is functional. It's got Mac trim and yaw damper. So Mac trim. There we go. Yaw damper for some reason doesn't seem to engage properly for me. But I don't know why. We'll forget it. It's fine. It's just a yaw damper. Who needs that? Okay. So our trip today is very short. Like I said, it's just taking us up to Innsbruck, which is not very far away. I'm going to do the cheatsy way because I'm not bothering with all this crap on the FMC. Because I'll be honest with you, I don't know how they work. Now, as I said to you previously, I am not an expert when it comes to airliners. But I'm practicing and I'm working on things as a human being who is learning to improve themselves. And I'm not far off. I'm getting better, as most of you know. And we do our best. But it's just about coping. And I'm not particularly good at coping. What I will do, however, is set some of the things I do know I need to have done here. So my heading bug will be 190. Click and drag, baby. Click and drag. No, too far. There we go. No, there we go. Nearly had it. Nearly had it. There we go. Nearly there. 190. Fantastic. That's going to be our initial one. And our initial altitude we're going to set on here is going to be about 12,000 feet. 12,000 feet. Fantastic. Exactly what we need to have happen here for the autopilot. So let's get ourselves out of here in Bellinzona. Is it Bellinzona? Bolanzo. There we go. Bolanzo. Bolanzo, Italia. I turn on my head tracking, so it's going to work here. There will be pizza for the in-flight meals. For we are in Italia. Parking brake will release. But it will when I press the damn thing, because it's being annoying. And we're going to get the heck out of here. Although I can probably do it with that pushback. Isn't that a thing? Yes. Push me back. I'm an airliner. Push me back. I have no idea what to do these things. Oh, I probably pull chocks, shouldn't I? Let's move those, shall we? Everything else is secured and so to hop off. Oh, look, I almost know what I'm doing, don't I? How weird's that? Is this going to push me out of the way here? There we go. Grazie. Grazie. Oh, you're pushing me this way. Okay, cool. I mean, I'll take it. Any direction's good. I just wanted to go that way, not the other way. But, you know, I'm pretty sure this is the wrong size of tug for this kind of operation, too. In fact, you know what, love? I've got it. I've got it from here. I've got it from here. Just let me go. Just let me go. Go away. I got this. Stay on the track. Okay? Do you want to clear off? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Leave me alone. Go on. Bugger off. You're not going to go anywhere, are you? Oh, now you're going somewhere. Right, let's make sure we have our nose wheel steering is armed. Let's get ourselves out of here, shall we? We're far enough back to be able to turn around here, so we'll just give it full deflection. Come on. More power. Now, my intention for this review flight is to end up on my wheels and not on my roof, which should be a fairly low bar to achieve, but, well, times have changed. I can only make that joke because no one was hurt. There we go. Let's not knock over Derek over here, or Giuseppe. Oh no, that's Sophia. Couldn't tell with all the padded clothes on. Sorry, Sophia. Okay, there we go. Alright, we'll get ourselves taxied out here and make sure we have our flaps selected. 20 degrees for takeoff, based on what I read. Everything else is looking good here. Pull the power back a little bit. Now, you will be able to actually calibrate and set your axes for this, like with the ATR. So you might want to check on that. Single axis, dual axis, reverses, no reverses in axis. So be aware of those as options. Now I will say, of all the airliners in the sim, this is one of the first ones I got. It was also one of the first airliner simulations we got in 2020. And it was decent, but it had its mistakes. Now, I didn't fly it a ton, but I have flown this one a lot more. And I've had this for a couple of weeks now as a creator before they lifted their press embargo. Now, they did push back the release, and I was very glad to see that, actually, because Aerosoft has taken some flack of late, and it was nice to see them recognise there were issues within their time frame for release, where they weren't going to basically be able to release a product they were happy with, and they chose to push the release back. Are there still going to be issues? Yes. There are. That's a given. But they did at least make the work to change it. Now, I will guarantee there are our experts who will tell you that everything's wrong with this, and there probably are. But you're probably watching me because you want to see an unbiased view of it as a regular sim pilot, and how will I get on with this aircraft? Well, that's what I hope to give you today. A non-airline pilot's view of an airliner. Ooh, let's put the thingy on. Yeah, we got a hood. We're a fighter jet now. Okay, a little bit of rotation would be quite nice. Let's go, come on. Ooh, hello. I probably did not assist that very well. Let's pull the gear in, shall we? Maybe a smidge on the short side for this runway. I had to kind of lift it off a little bit early. Oh, there's the flaps. Now, you can see what I mean about the sensitivity of pitch. It's a little bit pitchy. Not terrible. Okay. Where's heading? Probably should have looked at a lot of these options before I did anything here. We'll pull power back for climb. There we go. Climb power notch selected. Is the autopilot on? I think it's on. Is it turning me to 190? It doesn't seem to be turning me to 190. Oh, it's on now. Where's my yaw damper? It's not when it's on there. Will you go on now? Yes, now it'll go on because it has the yaw damper engaged. Fantastic. Excellent. We have our mission. So once we start climbing here, and we are still not climbing, we're going down. We'll go to vertical speed mode and we'll set it to that should be sufficient, about 1,000 feet of climb. If it's going to take us up, that is. It is going up now. Fantastic. And we'll turn ourselves on course in a moment. Like I said, I'm cheating and using the FMC to do this because basically to go full whoopsie doodle. So 190, I need to go about 10. What's that saying? 207. You know what? I'm just going to fly this manually to get on course because I would actually rather do that. So we'll get rid of this. We'll fly our back course from 190, which will be 010 degrees. Yeah, that's a tiny rudder application there. And even though your damper is engaged, that's what I'm getting from a small amount of rudder, which is quite dramatic in terms of a nudgy shift there. Trying to brink around here gently. Not a big autopilot frequent user, so I do tend to miss certain things with that, but we're doing our best. Passing through 9,000, so we're still climbing well. Okay. Ground speed and Current airspeed are both listed as good. What's my heading showing as? Still need to come round. We'll go for 015 or 020, which will be perfect for us here. Make sure this matches. Hold us straight there. In fact, you know what? Maybe nav will take over at this point if I have been good and it's going to engage. Is it going to engage? Nope, that's deciding it wants to cause violence. Okay. I would like nav to take over. Is nav going to take over? Oh, we're not close to our course yet. So, we'll give it a second. We might just put it back on heading, which is fine. Average or bumbling with an airliner. This is exactly what you tuned in for. But we'll talk about the CRJ in just a second and what that offers us in this regard. So heading's engaged there. Autopilot is engaged. We are, yes. So I'll just get this out of the way for us here for a second. I believe I can just click on that anywhere I'd like to. So we'll talk about the CRJ itself. Now the CRJ is a family of regional jets introduced in 1991. Now, originally made by Canadair, of course, the Canadair regional jet. It, of course, has later been built by Bombardier. Actually, no, I'm completely wrong. It's always been Bombardier. I thought it was Canadair at first, but it's not. Of course, it's been acquired. The CRJ program was acquired by a Japanese corporation, Mitsubishi Heavy Industries, and in a deal 2020. So they completed the assembly of their backlog on behalf of Mitsubishi. So it's kind of, the naming is a bit complicated. It's the Mitsubishi or Bombardier CRJ series. But we have the 100s, we have the 700s, the 550s, the 900s, the 1000s, 705s technically, which is limited 900 passengers, and there's options there. Are we pointing down? We're pointing down. I don't like down. Down is scary. Now, is nav going to pick up here and actually do anything I wanted it to? There's every chance because I didn't program this into the FMC that it's not going to, which of course is effing wonderful. Looks like we're sticking to heading. I can do that too. We're only going to be up in the air for a short period of time, so fear not. Now, altitude is looking good here. Although we are going rather fast, but we're over 10,000 feet, so that's fine. Now, we have the first flight was 1991, and it was Lufthansa City Line, actually. So there is a City Line livery for a Bombardier Learjet. I think it's on the 700 model, but you also have, of course, the regional. And from this, 1,945 have been built. And this, again, looks like I'm pointing down. I don't like this angle. We are pointing down. That is very, very weird. Could we please not? Like, I would like you to stay at altitude, if that's reasonably acceptable. Pull power back to cruise, setting there. And it seems to be picking its nose up again and actually behaving like an aeroplane. So we're going to see what it does here. Well, it decides what it's trying to do. So we've just passed that. It's kind of seesawing back down again to 12,000. Interesting. I have to go up though a little bit actually, I think, because it's once again going back down again quite steeply to try and achieve the same. It's seesawing back and forth around 12, which is unusual. The autopilot is engaged, it's doing this itself, but it seems to be seesawing back and forth on altitude there. Go back to vertical speed mode here and we'll see what she does as we try and pull that nose back up again. Perfect. 14,000 feet. That should be just grand. Okay, telling it to climb, which it is doing. Now, specifications generally, and we're on a 700 model right now, is about 78 seats. We have a wingspan of 76 feet or 23 meters, a height of 24 feet or 7.5 meters, a length of 106 or 32 meters. Now, we have GE CF34 engines providing 13,700 foot-pounds of torque. That's a mountain. I can see this going quite poorly, as it has chosen it does not wish to go up on vertical. Go back on vertical speed mode. How very dare you, aeroplane? Because we're not actually climbing. Me and autopilots, I swear. Just going to ignore them and pretend this doesn't happen. We're just going to hand fly this aeroplane for the rest of the way, because I don't trust it. It's even stayed on, not even stayed on course. So that's been interesting. Although I guarantee it's more likely to be my fault than anybody else's. Look, I just work here. It should be following the autopilot according to what I decided it should do, and it said it was going to do by pressing the engage button and pressing the right buttons, but I'm always probably wrong, so we'll base it on that theory. Now, typical range of a 700 is around 1,400 nautical miles, or 2,500 kilometers, and that range can vary to the 100s, 1,300-ish, to 1,700, up to about 1,650 for the 1,000. Now, that's 1,000 goes up to 104 passengers, so we've got a big variety there, between 50 to 104. So the family's got a lot of variation to it, which gives us some good options. So a very storied and very heavy working aircraft. And also the sounds are rather nice in this. I do quite like the sounds. Yeah, we're not far away at all. We're about to be in our approach area now for Innsbruck. We're making a runway 27 or 26 approach, sorry.
Terrain.
Yes, 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 terrain, terrain. We're in the Alps, of course there's bloody terrain. See? Look, terrain. It's quite pretty, isn't it? Yeah, we're going to hand fly this thing, because I want to. Now, I'll be able to put a flight plan in through this system here, and to actually import that to the actual sim will be super cool.
Terrain.
Weather reports, we can actually put stuff in here. And I can import sim brief stuff here, which would be super neat. And transfer that through to the FMC. It's like bush flying with a jet. This is absolutely fine.
Terrain.
No, whenever I take a look at jets, I take a look at them from the GA pilot's perspective. Because not all of us are going to be airliner experts. Aircraft like this one and some of the retro 737s that are coming to the sim will make me do it. I do quite enjoy a bit of F-28 action whenever I get the opportunity. It's a very, very fun plane to fly.
Terrain.
And so is this one. Like, I actually might put some time into this because I've clearly worked out how to start the damn thing and operate it.
Up.
Quiet! I will not pull up. That is the sky. I'm already in it. And if an aircraft isn't yelling at me, then am I really flying it properly? There we go. Okay, this will be good for us here. We'll fly the valley here, and then up. That should be just fine. Yeah, we're reverting to bush strategy with this thing. This will be just fine. But it shouldn't take us particularly long to get there. Okay. A little bit of power increase for us there. Now, for our approach speed, we're looking at about 149-ish knots on this thing, so we'll be setting power to maintain that. I don't want to drop particularly below it, and I want to keep power on, of course, to keep the engine, or the nose up, because these things tend to drop the nose. So, I don't want that to happen, of course, that would be bad. Yeah, we'll get to the fork of the valley here, take ourselves to the north, and we should be fine. But, I will say, oopsie, bonking things there. Now, airport will be lowy. Okay, that's our landing distance. It's going to be about 2,900 feet. Okay, pointing nose up is bad. And that's giving our current wind. Heading 26. Okay, we'll see how this works out. We'll see if it has faith in me. I don't have faith in it, but we'll see. So what's our descent to the actual before landing? Yeah, usual things. Thrust reversers to be armed as well. I'll make sure that's done too. I think the thrust reverser arm is down here somewhere. No, we'll do that before landing. I don't want to do that too soon and jinx myself by exploding in the air when my thrust reversers engage while I'm flying. Okay, let's get my head turned back on here. Drop our power a smidge. So I believe that's our airport down there. So we're quite high up here. So we're going to go down valley, turn around and make our approach for the 26 runway. I'm not flying a star. You can't make me. I refuse. Can you stop coughing? That's very annoying. You know what? Stop paying attention to me. Rude. Cabin crew, this is your captain. Please make sure the passengers are all seated and prepare the cabin for crash. I mean landing. Just landing. There's nothing wrong. I promise. Okay. Let's assist our descent a little bit, shall we? Because we need to go down pretty sharpish and make our approach here. So we don't need this anymore. We know where we're going. We do need to slow down. In fact, let's get you all the way out here, shall we? There's our dinky little spoilers out in the wing. Ooh, that's quite a good heat haze effect. Ooh, it's a little bit saucy on the camera there. Ooh, that's quite a view. I like that. As soon as we pick our nose up here, chances are we'll lose a ton of speed, so I'm going to be just taking us to the right side. And this yaw dampers are engaged, by the way, so this is still my yaw with that engaged. And I'm just giving it a small bit of rudder. Although the rudder axis seems quite jumpy. Okay, looking good there. Pick my nose up here. Speed is coming down slowly. Probably burn a fair bit in this turn, so I'm going to just begin that now. Open us up a tiny bit to the right first. There we go. Let's begin descending in right hand turn. Left, 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 left. Left, I'm going left. God. I'm going left. Yes, 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 quiet. You can probably get closed now. And now I need to make sure those are armed. Automatic. Airport in sight. Gear coming down. Flaps 15. Power coming up, and I want about 68 and 1. I think I see the airport. Right there. Okay. I do see it. I'm not blind. We're okay. I don't fly into Innsbruck very often, so you're going to forgive me for my ignorance there. Let's bring this down again. I think I rather like having the heads-up display. Look at one of those in a bush plane. A bit brighter so I can see it slightly easier. So our speed is still pretty good. I'm going to keep my attitude up here, rather than descending too much right now, so a bit more power will assist us right now. Flaps 30. Again, not an airliner expert. You obviously have been able to tell that very easily so far. But I'm going to do my best. And again, if this ATR is upright, I think it's a successful landing. By most judgment. It certainly feels interesting to fly. The flight model is not dull, but it's also not too wild either. It's not meant to be. It is apparently more sensitive than it should be, and I can definitely understand that. It does feel quite sensitive on stock control curves. We're established. Airspeed's a little high, bringing power back now. Power's coming back, and runway is established, glide slope established, looking good here. Speed is looking like it's on the numbers, just a smidge higher than I'd need. But we have tons of runway for what we need it for, so I'm going to keep it about here. And keep my position looking good. This is probably one of my most established airliner glide slope approaches. You should be proud of me. Look at me here. Looking like I have an idea what I'm doing. Okay. Speed's dropping a smidge. I can put the nose down now. And I should be in a position where 68 on the N1, or 60-ish, has me perfectly ready for that 149-ish speed. So when I put the nose down here, a little bit of wind there, kind of kicking me about a little bit. In fact, there's a bit of wind, so I'm going to raise my power and leave it there. That's a shock horror. So I'm not going to pull that power back if I catch any gusts. So I'm going to ride the speed in for a faster landing. There we go, a little bit more, just to keep me smooth.
1,000.
Looking good. Little. There we go, perfect. A little bit fast now. Just regulate that in. Okay.
Sync rate.
Quiet.
500.
I'm almost looking like I know what I'm doing. Shut up, don't tell me sync rate.
400.
This is almost looking good.
Sync rate.
Shut up.
200.
Shut up.
200.
I'm not pulling up, I'm landing.
Sync rate. 100. Sync rate. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Was a little heavy. Auto reversers are engaged, spoilers are out. Slightly heavier than I would have liked, but I'll take it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at our destination. On behalf of the captain and crew, we thank you for flying with us and hope you will join us again.
Now, the one thing that I will say about the announcements is they're cool, but obviously they only have one option, so it would have been cool to have a German option, especially with Aerosoft being German and, you know, Lufthansa liveries on these things. That would have been cool. Some other national options would have been cool, but they also have to get someone who knows how to talk like a flight attendant to record them.
Until the aircraft has come to a complete stop.
Now, they said that the person who has to record these for them is a English flight attendant, but I think they're Australian, or at least they're Aussie originally and they live in England, or Kiwi, because it's not an English accent. But it definitely sounds proper. It's not AI generated. These lines are recorded for Aerosoft by an actual flight attendant, so kudos for accuracy and authenticity there. So we survived an entire flight from Italy to Switzerland, or Austria now, and we're here at Innsbruck. I didn't murder us. Yes, I had to manually fly most of it, and the autopilot confused me. But we did it, and we're in one piece. That is the important take home here. I think compared to V1, it feels a lot better put together. It feels a lot better established, a lot better in terms of its design and its construction, how the actual sim rendition operates and feels. So even if you are wanting to fly as a relative amateur to the world of airliner flying, but you want to enjoy yourself, this aircraft has a good learning curve to it. And to me, that's very important. That breadth of learning curve is very, 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 very open. And it means you can fly with next to no knowledge, or plenty of knowledge, and you can have a good time. Which I certainly have here today, flying a relatively short route here, but it was one that basically allowed me to experience the aircraft with basically having just gone over the manuals and checklists. I will say actually follow the checklists. They are very important for you. The paper ones included in the manuals. They're very, very good. So do I think this aircraft is perfect, is flawless, is without fail? No. I think that's... Pull that in. No, I've not stopped that one because I'm not going to pull it past that section on its notch there. But I can stop the engines the old-fashioned way, and both will roll back for me there. As we'll go through to our tablet here, and we'll go to aircraft. Chocks are in place. We'll open the passenger stairs.
Ladies and gentlemen, the door is open. Please make your way to the exit and please make sure you have all your personal items and carry-on luggage.
And we get off the airplane. And I'm inside the tug. But we've just flown and we're here at Innsbruck. The airplane's in one piece. People are getting their stuff out, and we had a successful flight. So, for €50, if you want an airliner that's a good regional, this is definitely on the list there. It is dramatically better than version 1. And even if you have version 1, you get now the free upgrade to having all 4 aircraft if you already have them. It's a massive change to the aircraft in general, gives you so much more than the original had, and it does it better. Because the first one was quite broken, it wasn't very good. This is much more complete. It is still imperfect, but they're clearly working on that and have ideas to where to change. And I look forward to seeing where it goes. So thank you for watching this longer review than normal, as I tried to do it more justice. I hope I wasn't truly embarrassing to all you airliner people, but I'm a bush pilot. I do my best, okay? So thank you to the guys at Aerosoft for giving me a copy of this to look at. And like I said, from what I've heard from other reviewers who are actual pilots of these jets, it has control sensitivity issue. I noticed that. Yaw was very, very twitchy on stock settings for one's controls, and there are some occasional glitches with certain buttons and systems, but it's very, very good. So thank you for watching. I'll see you all soon. Bye.